Hello again, Lisa, and thanks very much for joining Blue Notes. We're launching some reports in Wagga, but it's a bit different to be in Wagga. Is the Smith family, does it play a major role in Wagga?
Yes, look, the Smith family's been here in Wagga for nearly 25 years with our core Learning for Life program, supporting disadvantaged kids with their education. And then about 10 years ago, we also started delivering the Saver Plus program here. So we have a long history supporting this community.
And whether it's Learning for Life or some of your other programs, and there's a range of fantastic programs, is it fair that underlying a lot of that is a sense of financial well-being? So what is financial well-being?
Yeah, so look, there's a number of elements to financial well-being. It's the ability to meet regular payments or bills as they become due. It's also sort of your attitude around your financial future, your present situation and your financial future. And then there's an element of financial resilience, which is the ability to deal with, sudden increase in costs, maybe with an illness or loss of income from unemployment. And so, it's a very, very real concept. And we know certainly from our work with kids, supporting them with their education, that one of the big influences is around the number of resources that are in the home. So the sort of financial well-being of the house in which they're growing up. And so one of the reasons, we want to be involved with financial literacy and programs as well as matched savings programs like Saver Plus is because we know that that builds the financial resilience and financial capability of the homes in which these kids are growing up. So it means it's more likely they're going to have money for education expenses, uniforms, excursions, and we know that that's a really important part of keeping kids engaged with their education.
The history of the Smith family was some intentionally anonymous Smith founders who came together to provide presents and things for underprivileged kids, but it's now evolved. You're talking about learning for life, but we're not really talking about creating wealth per se here. There's broader benefits for community and for families about financial well-being, isn't there?
Yes, that's right. And we want to make sure that we can break that cycle of intergenerational poverty. And so that's why we focus on education. And we know that for disadvantaged kids, where they're in a household where there is not a whole lot of income, that really puts pressure on the family and on those kids in engaging with their education. So if we can just give some core skills, including developing a savings habit to these families, then they're going to be better able to support their child with their education. And then our broader programs are sort of wraparound learning support programs, educational engagement programs, careers, reading support, all of which are designed to help kids to achieve more at school, to finish year 12 and then go on to employment or further study after they finish.
And indeed, one of the key messages in a lot of the research we're seeing is saving, that's not having to go into debt for everyday expenses, is a really critical factor.
It is, and the ANZ recently did a financial wellbeing survey, and it showed the critical importance of a saving habit. And even just $1,000 as a buffer against those expenses can have a really tangible, measurable effect on financial wellbeing.
Are the challenges different in rural and regional Australia?
Well, look, low financial wellbeing is really a national issue, but certainly one of the factors in financial stress is unemployment or underemployment. And we know in regional and rural Australia, employment levels are lower and certainly underemployment levels are higher. The other thing that we know about regional communities is that educational attainment levels tend to be lower. Kids are less likely to finish year 12 and they're less likely to go on to employment or further study, and so that also sort of feeds into that financial stress for families. So it's a national issue, but I think it's probably more marked in regional centres.
Thanks for speaking with us, Lisa.
A pleasure, Andrew, pleasure.